Chippy, 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 choo! Today I'm a musical star. JunyTony, starring musical.
Hansel and Gretel. Once upon a time, there lived a brother and sister named Hansel and Gretel. They lived with their father and a stepmother. One day, Hansel and Gretel heard what their stepmother said.
We ran out of food again. Let's take Hansel and Gretel to the woods, and we should just leave them there.
Hansel and Gretel were surprised. Gretel started to cry. That night, Hansel comforted Gretel and came out of the house. The white pebbles in front of the house glistened in the moonlight. Hansel thought of a brilliant idea.
Maybe I'll need these pebbles. I'm going to keep these pebbles in my pocket.
The next morning, the father and the stepmother took Hansel and Gretel to the woods. Hansel dropped the pebbles one by one to mark a way back home. When they reached deep in the woods, the stepmother said,
Stay here for a minute, kids.
The stepmother and their father left Hansel and Gretel behind. The father and the stepmother didn't come back even after a long time.
I'm scared, Hansel. Don't worry, Gretel. Let's be brave and wait a little more.
As night fell, the bright pebbles glistened in the moonlight. Hansel and Gretel followed the pebbles and came back home.
Gretel! That's our house over there. Really? Thanks to these bright pebbles.
A few days later, the stepmother said to Hansel and Gretel's father again,
We will starve to death. This time we need to leave them in the deeper woods.
Hansel tried to pick up pebbles again this time, but he couldn't because his stepmother locked the door. The next day, Hansel dropped the breadcrumbs on their way to the woods. As night fell, Hansel and Gretel tried to find the breadcrumbs, but they couldn't find them because the birds had eaten all the breadcrumbs. Gretel started to cry.
I don't know where to go. We're lost in the woods. What should we do?
Hansel and Gretel started wandering in the woods. They walked and walked for a long time. Hansel and Gretel were starving and exhausted. Then they saw a house made of cookies far away.
I smell something sweet and yummy. Come on, let's go over there. Lots of cookies and gummies. It's the sweetest house ever. Roof made of soft creamy cake. Yum, 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 yum. Walls made of crunchy cookies. Yum, 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 yum. Eat chocolate doors before it's late. Lick candy windows. Goody, 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 goody.
Just then, the cookie house's door opened with a creaking sound. An old lady with a hunchback and a wrinkly face came out.
Who's eating my house? Who's at the door? Oh, how darling you are! Welcome to the cookie restaurant. You can eat as much as you want.
The old lady was a mean witch who eats children. The witch lured children to the cookie house. But Hansel and Gretel had no idea who she was. They were very hungry, so they devoured the food prepared by the witch. The witch also gave them 2 cozy beds. Hansel and Gretel fell asleep in the blink of an eye.
Should I grill them or steam them? Children are so yummy. Here are 2 of them. Wake up right now, you lazy kids!
The next morning, the witch woke Hansel and Gretel up. She locked Hansel in a cage and made Gretel clean the house.
Gretel. If you work hard, I won't eat you. Eat and eat some more, Hansel. Come on, keep feeding, Hansel. Be chubby, gain some weight. Yum! I can't wait.
The witch checked Hansel every day to see if he became chubby.
Let me touch your finger, Hansel.
Hansel gave the witch a small bone instead of his finger. The witch had such terrible eyesight that she couldn't recognize it.
Why are you still thin? Now I can't wait anymore. Tomorrow I will eat you up for sure.
Gretel just shed tears because she didn't know what to do. Hansel and Gretel couldn't sleep at all night. The next morning, the witch called Gretel.
Check the oven and see if it's heated up well.
The witch was going to eat Gretel first.
I don't know how to do it. How silly! Look, this is how you do it.
When the witch pushed herself into the oven, Gretel pushed the witch inward with all her might.
Ah! How dare you!
Gretel found the key and opened the cage. Hansel and Gretel hugged each other and jumped for joy.
Hansel, the mean old witch is dead. The mean old witch is gone. The one who eats kids, there is none. Thank goodness, this is so cool. Let's go back to our home sweet home. Buy cookie house, buy now. With lots of gold coins and jewels. Let's go back to our home sweet home.
Hansel and Gretel returned home safe and sound. The stepmother had died of illness. Their father was so happy to see Hansel and Gretel again.
Oh, I've been wandering in the woods looking for you. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
Of course, Dad, we forgive you. Yes, we do. Let's forget the past and start anew. Chippy, 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 choo. Like and subscribe.